Yo, this is Jay from Antidote Agency. We're the artist advocates. And right now, I'm with the NoLimitPodcast.
Yeah. And sometimes we see things different, man. A little different than you know what I mean? That's because we got different vision. Flamestone music. Let's go. Yo. Tired of people I know changing. Once I see some fame, man. Forgetting who I aim, man. Forgetting my name, man. Yeah, it's James, man. But on the mic, I'm A. My family call me Jay. Now that's out the way. Back to the vocals, back to the trending topic today. Life is so short, I could barely walk away. Stay humble, young man, humble. It's a jungle, young man, jungle. And every chance they get, they try and make you stumble. That's why I keep on balance, so I can withstand the challenge. Not relying on talents. Life is more, so take advantage. So much more, take advantage. Not wasting mine, worried about standings. It's about time. Hip-hop has standards. That's what I'm here for. You take it for granted. I don't expect a thing except for the ring. And maybe one day meet our king. Meet our king. God judges, I don't. God substance, I wrote. It's not religious. This is just my vision. Seen through these higher power lenses. They not prescription. God judges, I don't. God substance, I wrote. It's not religious. This is just my vision. Seen through these higher power lenses. And they expensive. I know Diddy. Talk to Jay on the phone and now I'm C. Diddy. Ricky Rose, Meek Mill, whole Philly. Got the keys to the city and I'm riding downtown. But grown men keep names out their mouth. God gave me a talent, no doubt. So unless it's a game, I don't play around. Too many to mention. Young boys acting like they got dementia. I consider it offensive, so I'm blocking phone lines. Passing over the goal line. Finish the verse way ahead of those guys. Feeling like hip-hop Rocky. Ran the steps to the top and looked down on competition. If you're not with God, you're the opposition. Have to realize I don't fit in, but I'm still living. So calm and can't be mad, though I'm living. When I get the heavenly treasure, then I'm God judges, I don't. God substance, I wrote. It's not religious. This is just my vision. Seen through these higher power lenses. They not prescription. God judges, I don't. God substance, I wrote. It's not religious. This is just my vision. Seen through these higher power lenses. And they expensive.
Yeah. God's mouthpiece, I spout heat. From South Beach to South Street to Southeast. Some men rouse the crowd without speech. Pros or wise owls sit at their rabbi's feet. Rise, now teach, see the world new. Word, don't do what the world do. Careful, lest it's why you throw pearls to. Unroll the scroll, words unfurl truth. To keep them boys and girls from being swept up in that whirlpool. Paper stacks and Maybachs don't save cats. That's a hot Bugatti, but I'd rather be godly. See, they got a little shine on me. They love to be seen, but I'm 2.5 men. How I take away their sheen. See through it with higher power lenses. Tremendous, better than 2020 since it cleansed and rinses. Now I won't bend to be in business on the rinses. And won't blend in for ends, cause I live for what's endless. Flames.
God judges, I don't. God substance, I wrote. It's not religious. This is just my vision. Seen through these higher power lenses. They not prescription. God judges, I don't. God substance, I wrote. It's not religious. This is just my vision. Seen through these higher power lenses. And they expensive.
You already know what time it is, ladies and gentlemen of the 757. This is the best podcast on the East Coast. You're now tuned in to the No Limit Show with your guy, Just Ed, D-Lo the Shogun, Ace Fuckanami, Germany Badass, DJ YT, and tonight, like I say every other week, we bring the best of the best of the best in the city. And tonight we got a CEO, the face, Mr. Antidote himself, Jay, up in the building.
What's up, brother? How you feeling?
I'm always hyped.
I like that.
I'm always hyped, man.
You be hype. I'm not a hype man, so you
Hey, look. You know the crazy thing about it? Being a hype man, you gotta put the person or whoever you're around above yourself, and you just gotta love the energy.
Yeah,
you just gotta love just being in the room. You know what I'm saying? And It's a pro and a con. Sometimes you be like, damn, here I am, shout me out.
Right.
But it happens. But like I said, ladies and gentlemen, man, we got somebody special in here. Now, usually y'all see a bunch of artists, the singers, the rappers, all throughout the 757, the Richmond area, you know what I'm saying, Washington, everything. But tonight, we're bringing somebody special. He's an owner, an entrepreneur that's out here to help y'all.
Mm-hmm.
You know what I'm saying? At the end of the day. Antidote Agency.
Yes, sir.
Now, excuse me. If y'all haven't seen already, he was already on the HL podcast.
Yeah.
Shout out to Monty and everything like that. Then a couple of business partners came, like, I think, 2, maybe 3 weeks later.
Yeah. Yep.
You know what I'm saying? Just to refine the work, show faces, show everybody, hey, it's more than one.
Mm-hmm.
Now he's here.
Yes, sir.
And you know what I'm saying? With the artists that we deal with, it is needed. You know, he's going to give some insights. He's going to give a background story. And, yeah, man, he's going to give y'all the knowledge that y'all need. Because I feel like sometimes when I say it, y'all just look at me like another artist. But sometimes you need somebody that's in the business.
Yeah.
That sees the ins and outs for real, to give y'all that knowledge. So like I said, we're going to start out with an origin story because just like the fans and supporters out there,
yep.
I don't know anything about you. They don't know anything about you. Yeah. So let's take it way, way, way back.
Go ahead.
Where you from, G?
Man, you see my hat, right?
I seen it.
You know what I mean? Buffalo, New York.
Okay.
Shout out to Buffalo. I was born in Buffalo. All my family's from there. Everybody, aunties, uncles, mom, dad, grandparents, everybody. So, yeah, born in Buffalo. When I was about 2 or 3, we moved to Philly. So I spent a short stint early years and then right to Philly. My dad was in college when I was born. So once he finished college, he got a job, moved to Philly. And so we were there for most of my childhood, elementary years, with a couple years in Atlanta. My dad went to grad school at Georgia Tech, so he went down to Atlanta for 2 years. Shout out to the Atlanta area. So I was there for a couple years, back to Philly, and then just before high school, moved to the DMV, DC, Maryland area. And I spent a good portion of my life out there. So, yeah, man.
You know what's crazy? Y'all can't see the whole fit, right? Y'all can't see the whole fit. But I knew something was off, but in a good way. The man came in here with the fours on.
Oh, of course.
He came in here with the fours on. Then you hear from Buffalo, New York. So you already know he was already gifted with some type of swag, you know, he with some type of flavor.
Yes, sir.
Then he said Philly. Yeah. Then he said Atlanta.
Yeah.
Then he came to VA, and I was like, okay, yeah, he basically invited to the cookout. You know, you invited.
I bet to the cookout.
Okay.
I make mac and cheese at the cookout. They let me make mac and cheese too.
They let you make mac and cheese at the cookout?
True story, not even a joke. Yes, sir. Yeah, bro.
Solidified. I told you he was gonna be a great, ladies and gentlemen. Y'all ain't believe me. Yo, that is wild, man.
Yeah, bro.
Coming from those significant places, you know what I'm saying? Those are some heavy hitter places. It's not like Arkansas or Utah, like
for sure.
Going from New York to Philly to Atlanta and back to the DMV, man. Like, how was that experience for you? Like, what endeavored you into the musical realm? Like, is that something that you always wanted to be in?
Nah, like, so again, I was a kid, like really toddler in Buffalo. So, and really, to be real, Buffalo didn't really get a wave until more recently when it comes to hip hop, you know, which is so amazing to see. We got to talk about that too, because I've been around that a little bit. But yeah, it wasn't until I moved to Atlanta, to be honest with you, which is crazy. You see where Atlanta is now, right?
Mm-hmm.
I was there, you know, date myself, 92. Crisscross just came out when I was there. And I'm like their age. I'm like 8, 9 years old. You know what I mean? So I was a kid, but that's when I was like, yo, what's this music scene about? You know, seeing these kids put their clothes on backwards just to be different. It was hip hop. You know what I mean? It was that era too, you know? So that's when I got into music. Before that, I wasn't really listening to music. It was sports, you know, playing in the neighborhood, that type of thing. But once I was in Atlanta, man, it was all about music. It was, you know, who's the next artist and, you know, trying to find what's the next album that's coming out and, you know, still young, but just trying to figure out, you know, what's cool when it comes to music. And then moved back to Philly and I'm like, yo, did y'all hear this? I'm talking music now, you know, with my friends, you know what I mean? elementary school, you know, but we talking like, yo, you heard about this album or that album. And this is getting into the mid 90s where some say the golden era of hip hop, you know, but recording the radio at night, you know, 9 o'clock, there was a station in Philly. It was 102 Jam, I think 102 Jams at the time. Now that's a different station. But yeah, 9 o'clock, had my tape deck ready, hit record, recording just, you know, whatever the latest songs that came out. And so listening to those songs as they came out, you know, being able to test my ear, you know, like kind of train my ear really for later in life. But just love that era, man, the hip hop era, watching Snoop Dogg on the front of the bike on the video with the flannel. Was like, yo, what is this? This is crazy. And you know, just consuming music at that time, and then of course going to school, talking to friends, you know, and then fashion gets into that, you know, with the Jordans and all the sneakers and the starter jackets. All that was my upbringing, you know, being around it, going to the bus stop, and it was like, you show up at the bus stop, you better be fresh, or they're gonna send you home in one way. And you know, being a white kid, it was like I had to really show out, you know, to get people's attention. You know what I'm saying? Because it's just how it was in that era. So yeah, I mean, music was always, from that point, from Atlanta back to Philly, was always with me. You know, and just being around it, watching, you know, MTV Jams, watching BET, you know, watching the videos and all that too, to get the inspiration. That was definitely where it started.
Well, what I took out of that is kind of funny because you said, you know, going to Atlanta's around like the 90s and stuff like that. Being in Atlanta in the 90s, y'all all realize he was in Freaknik area.
As
like,
a kid.
Like, as a kid, but still, to be around and like before the Instagram models and the freak offs and all that, like Freaknik was that, oh my gosh, you know what I'm saying? To be alive type era, you know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
Crazy experience. And then on top of that, I kind of resonated with you when you said like, hey, look, you gotta be fresh.
Yeah.
You gotta be top tier at the bus stop. I remember vividly, like, just because you're African American or a different race, it don't care who you are.
Sure.
You ain't fresh, you gonna get worked, and you ain't. I'm a car rider. I don't even ride the bus anymore. Like, I wished I was a car rider so many times. But man, the cultural impact that it had on you to switch up things that you see and things that you say and how you dress and how you know what I'm saying?
For sure.
You gotta love it. You know what I'm saying? So as we move forward, you know what I'm saying? You being an artist, and I told you during the Chill podcast, I was like, look, I'm gonna ask you about that.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? Like, when was it where you took it upon yourself to say, hey, look, I like this, I'm gonna try it out, I'm gonna make something out of it?
Yeah, no, it was a little bit later. We moved to Maryland, outside of DC, and we're talking 96. And so, you know, just being a kid, again, consuming music for so long, then I moved to Maryland from Philly, and it's like, okay, I gotta show and prove. Like, I don't know this area. I'm not familiar with, you know, that was just moving around. You know how that can be for those that moved around. It was just like, okay, now I gotta show them who I am. Now I'm a little bit older. You know, I'm 12, 13 years old, you know, middle school, about to start high school. So just trying to find a way to just make my way in. Because where I moved, there's a lot of people that was like, grew up together. They were always around each other. Here comes this new guy. And so around that time is when I just started saying, man, I can rap too. You know, like, maybe I can try this, you know, and just started writing things down. And I don't remember the first rap, but I just remember writing for the first time. Like, I thought I could do it. Looks easy on TV. But then when I sat down to write a verse, I was like, man, this is not easy, man. You know, like, I can't articulate like these guys who are, you know, in their 20s and 30s, you know, at the time. But that's where it started. I was about 12. Wrote my first rap, and I didn't want nobody to hear it because I was just too self-conscious. I was very much, you know, quiet kid, moving around a lot, didn't really want to get in people's way. You know, just being around this environment that I was in, it was like you didn't want to get in the way. You didn't want to be that guy, because then, like you said, people would just start to spot you out and almost become a target. So I wanted to just be smooth, you know what I'm saying? But I started writing then I met a friend, a good friend of mine. Shout out to Seth Jones. He's a big engineer in Maryland right now. But in high school, we met, and he said, I rap, you know, I do raps and da-da-da. He started rapping in the locker room at PE at you know, doing gym. And I was like, yo, he can rap, actually. This is kind of dope. And so we started talking. I'm like, yo, let's hang out. Like, you know, kids like hang out on the weekend and, and we started getting together, and started writing together. But he was much better, and he kind of helped me learn a bit about how to write a song. And then it comes down to the point where we didn't really have cell phones, so I'm like calling from the house phone and like, yo, hear this verse, da-da-da-da-da-da. And they'd be like, yo, hear my verse, and we spit over the phone like at nighttime, you know what I'm saying? And then on the weekends we meet up, and it just became like that friendship bonded off of hip hop, and then just became we can help each other, and then from there it really wasn't like it is today. It was, you had to figure out how to make music. How do you get a track? You had to buy a single somewhere that had the instrumental and just try to rap to it. It was really hard to find like producers, unless you were at a real studio and you had like a record deal, you know what I mean? So, just doing freestyles to different beats. And then I got a karaoke machine for Christmas one year, and it had a way to record. So I put a mic up to the speaker, play the track. The other mic we rap on, and we would make our songs through the karaoke machine. And so that was the first time we recorded in high school. So, yeah, that's where it started for me, man, as an artist, just doing it for each other. You know what I mean?
I got to commend you on it, though. Because I was listening to the story, and I'm just like, oh, damn, he thought it was hard. He thought it was, somebody was more articulate. But you got to understand, like, the era that you grew up in, that you developed yourself in, was probably the most authentic era when it came to hip hop, rap, freestyle, and everything.
Yeah.
There was not using the same bar over and over that we hear in music nowadays, or the same boom bap or the wordplay.
Yeah.
Everything was original. Mm-hmm. So you becoming a stepping stone for what we listen to nowadays. So of course, it's going to be difficult. It's going to be hard. It's going to be one of those things where you're just like, man, do I really want to do it? But I got to respect it, because it's just like the ways y'all back then were intuitive. Because we talked about Sober the DJ before the show, and he said the same thing, like how he would record and hit the radio and all these techniques that I'm hearing from back in the day. And I'm just like, could the kids or the young people growing up now develop that same habits, develop that same hustle of, hey, look, it's got to get done. I got to figure it out.
Yeah.
I mean, nowadays we get FL Studios, Pro Tools, hit the button, hit the space bar, and everything records. We do everything we need. It's easy now.
Right. Yeah.
But back then, you really had to use your thought process to make it work. So I got to give you props on that. Yeah. Anybody that grew up in that area, in that era, and made something, even recorded something, top tier goats in my opinion. Because I know if I was back then, I couldn't do it. And that's coming from a 95 baby. So I was like, you know what I'm saying?
For sure.
But developing your name and your sound as an artist, was it more of a DC area, or was it more of a Philly area in your sense?
For me, I was representing Philly. Even though I was in Maryland, it was like everybody knew me. That's the Philly kid, I would always talk about Philly and always talk about going back, and can't wait to go back to Philly, and y'all don't know nothing about this and that, just being who I was at that time. And so I wasn't really trying to be a DC artist or a Maryland artist. It was more like, let me just show them what Philly is and what I am and who I am. And so I felt like I could bring something, like you said, everybody had to be different at that time. So I felt like I had to just be different in that way, especially where I was. And there weren't a lot of rappers in that area, so it was just a different space.
Yo, so we making a little interruption. You on the orange couch today. You on the orange couch. You already know who it is. The Bull is in the room. You know what I'm saying? DJ YT is in the room. She's in the house. How you living? I know you getting everything situated right now. But what we do until then, I'll make a little joke, because you kept saying Philly, Philly this, Philly, Philly that, right. But you walked in here with a Bills. So you not rocking with the Fly Eagles high? Like, what's going on?
I'll tell you right now, man. Being born in Buffalo, it is a thing. Like, when you're born, they say, here's your birth certificate and here's your Bills Mafia certificate as well.
Wow.
They didn't call it the Mafia back then, but it was like, you're the Bills fan for life now because you're from the city. And Buffalo doesn't have a basketball or baseball team, so I follow the Sixers and the Phillies for sure. So everybody knows me that. I got the two cities. I rep for the Bills and the Sabres, being from Buffalo originally. But I grew up going to Sixers games. My first basketball game was in Philly at the old stadium, the Spectrum. And then I went to the Veteran Stadium to see my first baseball game. Mike Schmidt, I think, was still playing back then. So, yeah. So it's split between those two cities.
I'm still hurt as a Philadelphia Eagles fan. I'm hurt.
Yeah, I like those years with Donovan McNabb. And,
see, okay,
I got a Donovan McNabb jersey, but that's when the Bills were really, really bad. So I kind of had my second team, which was the Eagles. But right now, it's all about the Bills, man.
Little background story on Ed, real quick. I know this is an interview, but I'm an Eagles fan, and everybody be like, "Why are you an Eagles fan, man? You're not even from Philly." Da da da. It's because McNabb. Back in the day, if y'all see any Ed pictures, I've always had an afro. Like, I've cut this, grew it, cut it again, grew it again. But I had an afro, and my stepmom, she would be like, you would never leave the house looking raggedy. You're going to pick it out every day. Wow. So I would have a 70s, 80s afro. And I would get picked on because it was like, man, you ain't got no curls, you ain't got nothing. It's just fluffed out. It's a poof ball. Right. Then I used to see Donovan McNabb. Yeah, this thing fluffed out. And I was just like, I want to be like him. And ever since then, Eagles fan. He don't even play with the Eagles. He ain't been playing with the Eagles years. I think he's retired and damn near Hall of Fame. But
for sure.
Yeah. Long story short. Yeah. Before I go to the next question, what's up, blood?
What's going on?
You blooded out, ain't you? God damn. Yo. How you feeling?
I'm chilling, bro. I'm straight. I have to come in, support. Shout out.
Yeah.
Mr. Antidote. This is Mr. Antidote Agency.
How you doing?
What we were doing, we had to do the origin story just to catch you up a little bit. And even for the ones that's coming in right now, doing that origin story, seeing where he's from. He has the Buffalo, New York behind his back. He got Philly behind his back. He got the DC area behind his back. He even got the DMV behind his back. So, like, East Coast. The whole, basically upper mid East Coast. He got it. What we were doing was we were jumping into his artistry because he was also an artist as well. During his intro song, I had told him, I said, it said 11 years ago, but it gave that nostalgia to 2013 because he had the camos, he had the cargos on. The lyrics were actually, you were able to hear them, hear the bars, hear the wordplay, none of that mumble over auto-tune that's going on nowadays. Like, it was clear as hell, and it felt good.
Yeah, thank you.
You know what I'm saying? The record actually felt good. It was nice to hear something. It was just like, huh.
Yeah.
But going from an artist to a CEO that you are right now, like, could you fill in the gaps?
For sure, yeah. So I went to college, man, and the idea behind going to school for me was to start a label. It was 2001, so early 2000s. It was still the time where you feel like to get put on, you got to put yourself on, or you got to get somebody to put you on. So I had some money. I was in an accident when I was a kid, got some money, and I was able to go to college. So I had this opportunity. Told my friends, went back to Philly, connected with some of my friends there, and we decided we're going to start this label. Like, we're going to do it. I'm going to go to college. I'm going to be the one to go to school. I got the money. They're like, oh, you're the white guy. You got to go to school. I was just playing. But that was the goal, was to go to school, learn business, and start a label, or start a music business. I almost went to Full Sail. I did the tour and all that too, but the price of Full Sail versus going to college was like, I could do 4 years and get a degree and have a backup plan, or I can go to Full Sail for a year or two for the same price. So I decided to go to college instead. But that was the goal. It didn't pan out because during college I lost a friend, and the two of the other friends got locked up. And so it was like that plan just kind of went away. And things started changing, early 2000s, YouTube was soon to come out as I was finishing up school. And so it just changed. And the idea behind me starting a label didn't make any sense. But that was the goal. And I kind of shifted and just said, maybe I'll get back to doing music again. And so I took a break during college. It was also a point in my life where I was like, man, just music is kind of whack right now. It's not like what it used to be. I wasn't as motivated, basically I could say that. And so I stopped. But then when I finished college and, just kind of a couple years after graduating, doing my career, trying to start, working in the business world, just got re-inspired, and I started doing music. And not too long after that, that song that you played in the beginning was one of the first songs I put out. Well, I did a mixtape before that, but then that was my first, like, really trying to get out there, you know, doing showcases and open mics and getting back into the city in DC, getting on the scene, recording, and also doing my own music and doing music videos. And I would always, you know, write the treatment to my videos and really involved, you know, just trying to put my own music out. And yeah, so I was doing that for a good 4 years, maybe 5 into 2013, 14. And then I started doing a way for me to get my music out. I started a showcase in DC, my own showcase. We called it Soul Food Sundays, and it was on a Sunday once a month, and it was a showcase local artists. But also I could sprinkle my own music in. That's kind of the idea. And so we started it out, really small little lounge on 8th Street. For those that know DC, that was when 8th Street started getting really busy. Started there, moved to Northwest DC, not too far from Howard University, where I spent a lot of time. We did that for like 3 or 4 years straight, once a month. And it started growing to the point where our last one was the biggest one we did. It just started growing. People started knowing about it. It was also like a positive, like you had to bring the lyrics, you had to bring some substance. You couldn't just rap about whatever you want to rap about. It had to be, you know, top tier. It's kind of what we wanted to initiate with that as well. And I started seeing how I can kind of be behind the scenes and have this different role in the music business. You know what I mean? So that's where it shifted for me to kind of go back into the business side of things. And then I had a daughter at the time, very, you know, just newborn, trying to figure life out, you know, and it got to the point where I couldn't be out running around doing these shows and all these things and going out of town, which was the next step as an artist, right? You want to get out of town, you want to make money in other cities. And right before I got to that point, I was just like, I can't do it right now. I just can't with my young daughter. I can't leave her, and, you know, just all the things that come with that. So I started thinking how I could be in this business but do something different and be behind the scenes and help artists. Kind of is where that started. And that was right before I moved out here.
Yeah. I can personally say that I understand where you're coming from, especially the kid aspect. It definitely plays its roles. Like me becoming an artist in the beginning, when she was young, I was like, I could still do it.
Right.
I could still go. I was still going out of town, Florida, New York, Atlanta, and it was all right. But then, once it comes to doing music videos, you $1,700 on a music video, or pay for diapers for until next year.
I don't want to say it, but that was really the reason, bro. It was the finances.
Yeah.
I mean, you just reminded me, because it was, as an artist, you spend so much money. If you don't see that money back plus more, you know, wifey's like, what are you doing? Like, you got this little one here. How are you going to take care of us? And so that was really it, to be honest. Like, you know, the financial side, because I was going to the studio every week. I was paying for production. I was paying for these videos. Like, I found a way to do it on a lower cost. You know, finding students at Howard University that are not there yet, but they want to do the work, so they would charge me a little bit less. You know, had a guy with a home studio, didn't have to charge me a lot because he's doing it at home, but it was a nice setup. You know, ways to do it and still make it happen, but I couldn't just keep putting the money back into it. Like, that was the biggest thing. Like, it was cool to go out of town if I had to, but honestly, it's spending all that money and not really seeing much of a return, you know, at that time. That was the biggest reason as well.
And I think sometimes artists, entrepreneurs, anybody that's in the entertainment world, not just the music business, just entertainment, being a face of something, need to have a reality check of priorities. You know what I'm saying? Because you'll hear these stories of like rappers, they'll make it. I use the Baby for example because his come up, I watched it from middle school on to high school on forward. And he would sleep, I had to sleep on my aunt's couch, and I had to sleep in my cousin's car, and I sold this and did this just to make it. And not everybody is mentally, financially, and emotionally prepared for that. Like, you know what I'm saying? Living a lifestyle and be like, all right, I can't eat out this week, or I can't buy a bottle this week, or I can't do certain things. It would be certain friends that I had when I was doing my music thing. They were like, let's go to the club.
Yeah.
Unless I can perform, then there's no purpose in me going because I'm gonna spend money while I'm out there. Like, you know what I'm saying? I don't need it.
Yep.
And it was just one of those things where I had to break down different things. And even after doing like the photo shoots and the music videos, I was like, yeah, I love music and I love every aspect of it.
Yeah.
But there's different ways to make money out of it.
For sure.
Where I can still take care of my family and do what I gotta do.
That's it.
And I respect that.
Yeah.
I definitely do. To move it a little bit forward after that, you know, artistry and stuff like that, where, because you went by three names. I'm going to say three names only because I got Jay, right?
Yeah.
Then I got Antidote.
Mm-hmm.
Then the last show on A Chill, they called you the Face.
That's a new name.
So which one is it? Like where did the names come from?
So Antidote was just, you know, that was my artist name. I did a lot of, like, you want to say positive music or, you know, conscious, and then later more Christian music, you know, Christian rap, I would say, you know, being in church. And so that name came from that. One of my mentors, guy from Philly, he was on radio named Big City. He hit me up one time and was just like, yo, because he used to call me by Jay, like that was just my name, or James, that's my first name. And he said, yo, you got to have a rap name. You can't be out here performing, you don't have a name. He said, you know who you are, though. So he started like this whole comic book theme of like, you're the antidote to this music, man. You bring this cure and you're healing, you're helping with, you know, you got to be that. Because I was kind of 1 foot in, 1 foot out at the time. Like, do I want to be a Christian artist or I just want to be an artist? And he was like, no, you're the antidote. So that's where that came from. And then just kept it with me, you know, going through doing my music thing. And then turned into the business, Antidote Agency. It came from that. And we're still trying to be the antidote to the industry, you know, just in a different way. And so that's where that came from. Jay is just a nickname that my friends gave me, you know, instead of just saying James, I just said Jay. It was cool because Jay-Z was out. He was the biggest rapper. So I was like, okay, I'll take that, you know, nod to my favorite artist. And then Face is just more recently with my guys, Dev and Will. They're my business partners for the agency. And they always tell me like, yo, you're the face of this, man. I'm the one that had the idea to start this. So they just kind of call me the face. But they like to be behind the scenes. So like you go out there, you do the front, you go in front, you show everybody who you are. You get up there and thank everybody after the show. We don't have to do that. I'm always trying to bring them with me though, because I feel like they got a lot to bring to the table as well. But that's kind of where that came from. They call me the face, so
I can't even move forward because this is another reason why I wear the glasses, because I hear conversations and I get tidbits.
Right.
But you heard what he said? He said his favorite artist was. He ain't watch no shows. I can't fucking.
You can't stand Jay-Z.
I can't stand Jay-Z. Oh,
I do know that. You know what I'm saying? But
oh my gosh, I can't.
I just had to say that just to see how you would respond. You know
I can't, bro. I'm sorry, bro. Like, if Jay-Z ever seen this and he was just like, yeah, I'm trying to come on the No Limit podcast or whatever like that, I wouldn't fake it. I'm not gonna fake it and be like, oh my God, you're the greatest. Like, no, he's gonna catch his work.
What's your whole beef with him, man?
It's just understanding how his come up was and what he was trying to do. Now, I love his startup process. I think most people love artist startup process, that grind, that hunger, that I'm going to get it done. Like you said earlier, I'm going to get it done by any means necessary. I loved it.
Yeah.
Gold mouth, big ass chains, walking into a record label and they're just like, hell no.
Right.
Hell no. And we all know what Jay-Z looked like when he had all that on. Yeah. You know what I'm saying? It was just like, once you finally did make it and you did have an establishment of your own, you know what I'm saying, Rock Nation and things, and you had business partners, like, I had to do my own research to understand. I'm not one of those just, oh yeah, he just got bad music. It was just how the business side was done. And it's going to come another question for you as well, but like, you had artists like Benny Siegel. You know what I'm saying? Hard. That was really a street rapper that really had the street cred. And they really weren't trying to push big in your Benny Siegel because you got a certain type of rep. We can't really do that.
Yeah.
And it was just like, and then he'll go on other records, and not saying he would outshine them, but it was just because he had a bigger name. Now those records that were theirs are now his, in a sense. I just didn't like it. And somebody being on top, like let's say I have the name, right? Mm-hmm. And DJ YT, she does the work. Like, she in the clubs. I'm not in the clubs. They coming to see her for real.
Yeah.
I'm not gonna show the public a David Ruffin. Like, oh yeah, they just came to see me. Right. No, I'm more like an Otis. Like, they came to see the group. Like, they came, you know what I'm saying?
The collective.
And JG just didn't take that initiative to be like, hey, look, nah, we a unit, we a team. I know this is business, but I ain't gonna fuck nobody over. Yeah. And that's just my personal opinion on JC.
Yeah, that's kind of going to lead into my question too, because I know that, like you said, you the face, but you know it's multiple. It's you and two others.
Yeah, two.
So like, how is that, like, being a group and getting into business with a group of guys? What's that like?
No, I mean it's natural. Like, I started it by myself. Just the idea, the vision, of what this could be. It could be a way to give resources to the artist and to help these artists. Because again, what I said earlier is I stopped at one point because I didn't have the funding to keep going. That was really what it came down to. And I hate that for artists. You know what I'm saying? So my thing is to help these artists get money in their pocket. They can keep doing what they do, because you never know when that's that time for that artist to make it. So that was the vision. So that's the agency. We can get into that too if you want. But to have my guys with me, it just came natural. Like, Devin is from this area. He's from Newport News. And we were going to Something in the Water when it first came out. Like, we were in the front row, the first Something in the Water. We got backstage through a friend who was DJing back there. We were on the beach before they opened the gate. So I got a video on my phone of everybody running towards us. So we experienced things like that. He got to see that. And then going to the next one and being in the front row again and, seeing all this. He was around it with me. And so just seeing that, how he interacted with people, and it just made sense for me to bring him in. And then with Will, he's being from New York, hanging with these DJs, the heavy hitters, running around the New York City area where he's from. He's got a swag to him, and he could just make anybody believe whatever he say. So I feel like, man, he could be a good salesman for this. So we went to a couple events locally. I invited him to come through, and he just saw me knowing everybody. Like, I don't think I know everybody, but he was like, yeah, that's why I call you Face, because you know everybody too. But he saw everybody dapping me up, and he was just like, man, how do you know everybody? So we sit down and just talk about the business that I'm trying to do. And I said, man, you should join me as well. And so since that point, it was December of last year that both of them were with me. And then so many things happened since then. Like, we basically only been in business a year and a half, but we've had so much happen since like January of this year all the way to now. That's amazing. Like, really coming down to having a team, like, it's so important, for those that are in business, know that. For artists, that you need a team to get you where you gotta go. Basically, you can't do it by yourself. And so they have something they bring to this, and I'm still teaching them about the business because they're still learning some of that. But the sky's the limit right now with these guys. I feel like we got a really strong team in place that so many things we want to do, and they're starting to see it now. And so it's really the three of us, I think, is perfect, because in a voting sense, 2 versus 1 or 3 vote and we good. That helps. And then also it's just something about the three, like when we're in, different situations, you over there, I'm over there, like stage presence, stage left, stage right, then I'm a floater. It's just different things that make sense for us as the three. And so it really works, and their personalities really fit. But I feel like it was just God that said, yo, pick these guys and bring them with you.
That's real, because I know a lot of people, they try to put just, they homeboys on.
Right.
And a lot of people don't offer nothing. But for you to find people that actually offer exactly what you're looking for what you're trying to do, that's amazing.
For sure. Yeah. I'm glad it worked out that way too.
Yeah, because I tell people all the time, like, if they were all here, like I said, I'm not going to put no shuns on the ones that aren't here.
Yeah.
But I will say, if they were all here, you would understand, like, once D-Lo had passed away and I was doing shows by myself, I was just like, yo, I love it. I love doing interviews. I still love interacting and stuff like that. But it's just like, I need something else, like just in case like the conversation's just there, or I'm not having a good day, or I can't go here. You know what I'm saying? I'm only one person. So it was like, I was like Thanos, man, collecting the Infinity Stones. Like, DJ YT, she had hit me up and was just like, yo, I'm watching everything you doing. Didn't know her from a can of paint.
Wow.
It's like, yo, I'm watching everything you doing. I love it. If you ever need any help, sign me up. I was like, cool. Looked at her background story. I was like, all right. The episode was sober. Mm-hmm. She wasn't even on screen. She was in the background the whole time. And she stayed the whole episode. I was that right there, I fucks with. I wholeheartedly. And then Germany did an episode with her. Now Germany's more of a pow, bang, like energy, pow, bang, you know what I'm saying? Like, so I was like, okay, cool. Another female, because I wanted 2 females. Mm-hmm. And it was just like boom, 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 boom. She just really asserts herself, really shuts down. We had an episode where she was just like, y'all need to shut the fuck up. And then Ace is just one of them smooth, hippie type, vibe type of guys. Like, he just understands situations for what they are. Mm-hmm. And I would like to say it came from his bad experience, but it turned out to be a good experience. He's had so many bad experiences with dealing with people in the industry where he's just like, hey, look, this is what you need to watch out for. Right. They say this, that, and the third, and I respected it. And then one day I just hit them up separately, and I was like, be here this time. And they all showed up. They all looking around like, all right, Ed, like, what's this? Right. We finna do an episode. Let's run it. Yeah. And it just worked smooth. And since the episode worked smooth, it's just been golden. That's so great. I understand how it is, like having a dream, having an idea, knowing where you want to be. Mm-hmm. You just got to fit those other pieces.
Exactly.
And it works out perfectly. Yeah. But what made you, what I always wanted to know out of this situation, what made you want to start an agency over a label?
Well, again, the way the music industry is now, you don't really need the label per se. You know, artists can just get their music together and put it out and go from there. And so I felt like doing the agency, we can do a lot more for the artists. You know, like, we don't have an agreement with artists. The only time we have an agreement is when we have a show, and it's case by case basis. I'll hit them up and say, hey, we got this event coming up. I think you'd be a good fit. Can you make the date? Here's the details, you know, whether it's selling tickets or here's a price. They agree to it. We get an agreement. That's the only agreement we have. It's not long term. So that allows us to be flexible. We can work with anybody. There's no, I got to work with you because you're with us and we're going. Because, you know, some artists, they do some things and then we're still seeing where they're going to go. And so for me to lock in, because I was doing management at one point before the agency started, like right before I was managing an artist. And I just saw that wasn't me. Like, the day-to-day trying to grind it out, like, unless they really have a lot to offer, I'm really making nothing until they make something. And it takes a lot to get them where they need to be. Nothing's wrong with that. It just wasn't for me. Again, I've got a family I'm trying to take care of, you know what I mean? So I thought this could be a great way to help the artist with artists in mind. You know, we call ourselves the artist advocates because that's what we are. We advocate for artists. And the agency just allows us to be more in these different realms and rooms, but then bring the artist with us, you know? Because we're not a label trying to get you to, you know, buy the music or what have you. We're trying to curate any type of event you need. And so with that comes, you know, connecting with whether it's the cities or whether it's the businesses, whoever it may be, and then we bring the artist with us. And so it just allowed us to be more agile, if that makes sense. You know what I mean? And yeah, but still doing a lot that we can do and we can offer, and still learning what we can offer, because things are continuing to change and what we can provide for these artists too.
Yeah, so broader platform.
Yes, for sure.
Yeah.
Because what I like out of it is it's like, okay, you're not a manager, but you're also not a label. Y'all are literally in between.
Yeah.
Because I like how you said, like, okay, look, I got this event. It's not for everybody. You might have 15 in your phone or 20 artists in your phone, but it's just like, hey, look, they doing an R&B night, or they doing a Caribbean night, or they doing a pop night, rock night, whatever genre y'all might fit in.
Yeah.
I got the person for it. Hey, look, it's an opportunity for you to really put yourself out. You want to do it, you know what I'm saying?
That's it.
I like that a little bit more. Me personally, because it's just like you really focus on that one artist or those couple artists that you have that fit that area instead of a label being like, hey, they're doing a party. You get to the party and it's a bunch of weird motherfuckers that don't fit your element. So now you're faking the front just to be okay around with them, you know?
Exactly. Yeah.
And I like that. Like, but the thing is, we'll treat this interview like you're a commercial almost. You're selling yourself as a business. Like, what would be the benefit for any artist that's looking at this right now to join what you got going on or to hit you up?
So the biggest benefit is, again, the places we can get them. Right now we have a relationship with the city, Virginia Beach. So we did a recent festival that filled in the gap of something in the water, right? They postponed it last minute. That weekend, the city still wanted to do something, so they called us, among a few others, but they called us specifically for Friday night, and they gave us a budget. So what can you do with this? Well, we can do a lot with that, right? And it wasn't a lot, but we made it happen. Everybody gets paid, too, when we do things like that. So that's the other thing, is to get this money back in their artist pockets. So we brought a headlining artist, Rotimi, Chaz French, who's sort of like a sub-headliner with it, and then all these independent artists from this area. And we put them on this big stage, and it was the first festival that, the city did, right, in that capacity. Things like that. The connections and the wealth of people that we know that can make things happen. That's one thing. The experience I have, of course, going through it, knowing what to do, what not to do, sort of an A&R role that I can play as well with that. And then connecting them with either, these businesses that we're trying to teach the businesses to say, like an athlete, what do they call that? The deal that athletes get, you know what I'm talking about?
Hold on. Not to cut the story short.
This guy.
Not to cut the story short. He popped in here like goddamn. I looked at the door. I was like, damn,
Surprise,
Mr. Face, you brought a security member?
I did. I brought my security.
It's been a minute. How you feeling, G?
I brought my security here, man.
Well, yeah. Nah. Copper Squad. Copper Squad. If you need Copper Squad, we got Mr. Biggs in the building.
Right
Mr.
here,
Biggs, yeah. Copper Squad, real quick.
Get your mic right.
Yeah. How you been, G?
Good, bro.
You been, look. Yeah, New Year, bro. You been everywhere.
Yeah, we in Atlanta tomorrow.
Marriage and then state to state, city to city, studio to studio. You been killing it.
Yeah, thank God.
Been killing it.
Yeah.
That's wild. That's wild.
That's why I call him Biggs.
And I was waiting for 25 other months.
I know, right?
Yeah, he like that, ladies and gentlemen. But yeah, man, like now that you got another partner beside you, Biggs is in here, DJ YT's in here, dealing with all those type of artists and giving them something that they can actually benefit off of. Because I've noticed and I've heard with the interviews that we've had that artists don't get paid.
Yeah.
One of the biggest issues that I've seen recently with Marv P, we said like artists can't sell tickets.
Right. Yeah.
So with your agency, is that something that y'all help them do in a sense?
For sure. And real quick, just to finish that thought, NIL deals, y'all heard of that for athletes, right?
Mm-hmm.
We're trying to establish that for the artists. That's what I was going to get at. So that's something else that we're working on, so artists can get paid with branding or different things, because they bring similar things to that table. They're not an athlete, so maybe not the sports drink, but Modelo, I know that they got some sponsorship maybe for an artist, and that artist fits with their brand. They can do music for the commercials, but they can also be a brand and sort of endorsing that brand as well. So those are things we're working on as well. But yeah, as far as the tickets, man, I'm glad you brought that up, because that was a big part of that conversation. Like I commented on the IG post. I got a few people to see that and kind of support what I said. But if you're not selling tickets, if you're not doing business things in the music business, you're not in the music business. You're just doing music. And I feel like the artists, it's hard for them to see the vision, like as a curator of an event or a promoter or whatever you want to call it, an organizer for an event. Really, the risk is on us. We're paying for the venue. We're putting the money up. And then the artist says, well, pay me to be there. Okay, well, what do you bring to the table? Are you going to bring people out just by me paying you to show up? Like a Conway or whoever that is? Yeah, maybe those guys. But if you're still making music and coming up and you haven't got to that level of recognition, it's hard for me just to pay you straight up to come out, because I'm not going to make that back. Now, I would love to pay you if I could. If I got budgets from the city, no doubt you're going to get paid just to show up. You don't have to sell tickets for some of those events. But when we have a ticketed event, it's because we had money we had to invest to get this event on. We still want these artists to shine. We still want them to get their music out. But they got to sell tickets. They got to be a business minded, or they got to be in business with us. Otherwise, the risk is on us. If 50 people show up and y'all didn't promote it, for one, you got a whack crowd. You think we're going to promote and we're going to get everybody to show up. You got to get in the game with us too. And so we got to partner. We like to partner with the artist. And so selling a minimum ticket really gets you a chance to show that you've sold tickets. When you go to a label meeting with Biggs and he got an A&R on the phone, you're able to say, yo, I sold tickets. People bought tickets to come see me. That's a big deal.
You got paperwork.
Yeah, and that's a big deal. Now, if you just want to make music and get paid to do it, that's not how it works. That's not the music business. So for us, we do it in we try to do it as a partnership, and there's different ways to do it. Depends on the situation. But most of them, when they're ticketed, it's to cover the cost, at least cover our cost. And that way we get you the platform. We try to give incentives so they can make money as well, go above and beyond, sell more tickets, get out there and hustle. If you really want to get your music out there, you don't have to sell CDs like I used to back in the day. Just sell these tickets that come see you, right? And that's a way that you can be in business, not just do music, but be in the music business. That's a start.
Yeah.
So, yeah.
I think, like I said, it's definitely a benefit working with entities that actually see the benefit and actually see the potential in the artist.
For sure.
Because a lot of people just see the check. Like, okay, cool. You want this event, you want this spot, I'll charge you $200, $250, or whatever like that. If you bring people, you bring people. If you don't, you don't. Because at the end of the day, I already got my money.
Right.
But at the same time, if, like you said, being a partnership with that artist, hey, look, I got this event. I'm giving you 3 months, maybe even a month advance.
Yep.
Bring those people in. You say you got them people. I'm looking at your comments.
Right.
All these comments in here say fire emoji, all that. Sell them a $5 ticket.
Yeah.
Sell them $10. If they can't buy $5 and $10, then do they really fuck with you?
Right.
But it is like a pro and a contrast because, again, I'm using Marv a lot. He was like, yo, I donate because some people don't have it. Or whatever like that. But they're giving something.
Right.
You know what I'm saying?
Yeah, contributing to it.
But I feel like a lot of artists nowadays, they're not as big as they think they are. They see the viewership or they see the, oh, so-and-so followed you or something like that. And they see that and it makes them feel bigger. But for you to actually sell a ticket and be like, somebody paid me to come listen to a 2, maybe 3 minute, even a minute song of mine.
Huge.
You got to feel great about that. You got to feel
empowered.
Like big chest. You know what I'm saying?
You should. That's what we're trying to do. Is really we're empowering the artists when we do that, right? We're giving them a chance to really, like I said, promote themselves, but really show, like, turn that around. Like, yeah, you got followers, great. Can you turn that into people spending money with you? Because when you do that, then it becomes a proof of concept. Then you start to see, oh, I can really make money off of this. There's different ways to make money in the music business, right? That's one way. But once you do that, you're empowered now. Now you can say, oh, I can put on my own show maybe. Or maybe I don't have to, go about it this way. I can do this and sell tickets and I don't have to just be on the gram putting my music out. Because I think that's a bigger conversation is in today's world with social media, it's all instant gratification, right? You put a song out, you think it's going to do well. You might get everybody to say they love it. But if you can't sell something to them, or turn that into money, what are you doing? Like, how are you going to continue this down a year, 2, 3 years down? And you're paying studio, you're paying all this stuff. How can you sustain that? If you're just in it to just create, that's great. I'm not saying that's a bad thing. But I think people have to have that mindset. Where do you want to go in 2, 3 years? Do you just want to be here doing music and put it out for your friends? That's cool. That's all good. But we're here to really get you in the music business and help you get there. Like, we're not just here to just make money off of you and move on. Like, we really want to build relationships with these artists. And I think if you ask any of the artists that we work with, they will definitely tell you that. It's not a one-off. It is what can I do for you next month? You know, and they hit me up too, like, well, yo, we did that. What we got next? What we doing next? And I'm working with them. Let's do something new. Let's do something else. You know, so there's a lot there, but I think that we got to get away from that instant gratification. Know that it takes hard work, and it's okay to get out there and do some hard work. If you put all that effort into a song and you spent time in the studio, money, and all that, get out there and do this as well, because then you're going to see the reward and you're going to see what you can do next.
I got one thing, and then I'm gonna jump back to you. I'm gonna piggyback off what you said earlier, because you were like Modelo. I think a lot of artists don't realize that their music doesn't necessarily have to be on Spotify, Apple Music, Tidal, whatever streaming platforms.
Yeah.
You know, you can sing your music onto a Tyler Perry movie,
Yeah.
or a Tubi movie,
Yep.
or video game, or anything out here nowadays. You know, those people that you play your video game and you in a little HUD or whatever, that's an artist. Yeah. Somebody had to put out that music. Shout out to Ty Lee and A Monty. They put out a song, Flex on them.
Yeah.
It's for wrestlers in AEW Network. You know what I'm saying? That's wrestlers walking out to your music. Just stop looking at the big shark, the big whale. Like, oh, if I get this, I got it. Attack some of them little fishes.
For sure.
Take them little fishes, man. Go for it, man. Like, artists can do a lot more if they understand the whole where music really fluctuates at. It fluctuates everywhere, not just social media and what you see directly.
Yep.
You know what I'm saying? You could be reading an Audible book and they could be playing your beat in the background while they, you know what I'm saying? You never know.
That's it.
Damn. I done lost my train of thought when I said
What
that.
Dave's got to say about that?
Well, see, the thing is, I was gonna ask y'all for real, between both of y'all, what do y'all see from artists that they need to work on between both of y'all? Because y'all come from different spectrums, but in the same type of lane, and if that makes sense.
Yeah, it's a good one for you, man.
Yeah, just developing their craft, and like you said, just building the skill of like the art of selling, and understanding the business as a whole. It's a book they can read. It's all you need to know about the music business. They can pick up that book and that'll tell you everything.
There you go. Just read the book.
That's great.
For sure.
Yeah. No, I think that, you know, there's a lot artists can do. You know what I mean? I feel like just whether you're developing your craft, but I think thinking outside the box is a big thing as an artist. If you just see what works for that person, it may not work for you. And so you got to find what works for you as an individual. Like you said, you know, there's different avenues, there's different ways to get your music out there. But you got to be able to tap into those things. And, you know, that's, again, I'm not trying to plug us, but that's where we come in to really point these things out, you know what I'm saying? And really show that there's multiple ways to make money off the music business. There's multiple ways to get your music out there. And you got to think outside the box to do that. Don't
ever settle yourself for nothing else. You say, oh, I ain't trying to put yourself out there, bro. Because at the end of the day, like I said, during that last show we was on together, I was like, look, I done had a lot of agencies come in here and sell the artists that I bring a dream.
Right.
And then them artists hit me up 2 weeks later and was like, man, them people was fucked up. And it messes up my character because I'm going off of business. We working together as partners. So if I'm bringing an artist and you giving them bad experiences or you not really helping them in their career, like, you know what I'm saying, being selfless in a sense, it messes things up, man. It messes a lot of things up on reputations on all ends.
For sure.
But working with artists though, and I told you I was gonna ask you this question too. What's y'all's favorite artist to work with, genre wise?
I mean, for me, it's always been hip hop. You know, I mean, R&B. I like R&B too, but that's where I come from. You know, and it's something about it. You know, when I hear those songs, I was playing the artist for you earlier. You know, when I first heard that, I was just like, oh, this guy got it. And when that happens for me, it's just, again, because the era I come from, the things that I've experienced, it's special. There's not a genre like that again, you talked about it with Jay-Z thing too. Like, you come from these environments and you talk about that experience, not so much glorifying, I don't really like that, but more so talking about the experience and coming out of that and showing that you can come from anything and make it. And I think that there's the underdog mentality. Bills fan, right? I know all about underdog mentality. But that's the
I
biggest
got
thing
it
for
rough
hip
right
hop.
now.
For me is being an underdog, coming from different environments and making it out and making something of yourself. So that's what I like about hip hop and the artists.
I don't have no favorite genre. As long as they got it, I'm with it. It don't matter what genre, because I work with all types of genres. Like,
Well, see, that's the thing about it, because I know both of y'all work with a bunch of different genres, but I'm trying to figure out what's the easiest genre to deal with, because like you said, hip hop.
it ain't no easy genre,
Yeah,
bro.
yeah, I don't know if it's easy, but
It's like I could do hip hop every day, and it could be easy for me to format, but you might have that one client that's just super picky or don't know how to articulate right, so it's gonna become hard. That's why it don't matter the genre, as long as they know how to articulate and get what's in their head out, so I can get it right. We good.
Yeah, because I feel like regardless, an artist is gonna be an artist. You feel me?
Right.
So it could be whatever genre, they still gonna come with, artist shit.
Right. Yeah, facts.
Sure.
Well, the only reason I say that is because like some producers, engineers, some managers, agencies are good dealing with that particular lane, and it's easier for them to book shows or
For that
find
lane.
that. You know what I'm saying? To find it for them. You know.
For us, I would say if when it comes to that space is hip hop.
Okay.
Yeah, R&B, hip hop and R&B. But the industry counts that all as the same anyway. So
Right.
Well, speaking on the industry, what's your biggest grievances?
Grievances.
What's your grievances?
Just people not taking it serious. That's it, for real.
Yeah.
If you take it serious and you're willing to give 100%, I'm with you. But when you start half-assing, that shit get annoying. Majority of the people half-ass. So if you wanna put your best foot forward, then I'm with it.
For sure. Yeah, for me, it's just people that either don't know their worth, where they just don't see it. It's like, man, I'm trying to help them see that they can do this or go here, or those that think too highly. That they're like, I'm not doing those type of things, or we talk about, I'm not selling tickets. Just pay me. It's like you're not there yet. So there's those two that kind of make it tough for me, because it's hard to work with people like that. People that are easy to just say, look, I'm down for what you think. We'll try it. At least let's try it. I can work with people like that. But if people are stuck in the way of however they do it, or they saw this person do that and they feel like they can do the same thing, I can't work with that. It's hard for me to really help them get where we can get them, because everybody's in different places, like I said before. So those are the tough ones to work with for me.
For sure.
I like how you said different places, because I've been really been working on myself, because you spoke about it earlier about having an ear for music. And Marv, I keep saying Marv because he had a good episode, and it's just like he had made a statement, I'll never tell somebody else that they music trash, or they need to do this, that, and the third. You know what I'm saying? I give them the benefit of the doubt, and it's hard for me. I ain't gonna lie to you, like me progressing into this entertainment industry and stuff like that, I don't want to have that fake love for you. You know what I'm saying?
Sure.
I'm not gonna disrespect you, but at the same time, I just be like, hey, look, this ain't it.
Yeah.
Have y'all ever had that experience?
Yeah, that's my job, to tell people if it's good or not. I'm an engineer, so.
That's a good engineer, by the way.
Yeah, if I don't say nothing, then they won't get it out.
But also, I've had artists come on here and they tell you, like, engineers, they don't give that. They tell them, they feed into the artist's ego. Yeah. Like, that shit fire.
But that's a select engineers. If you're really an engineer or producer, you can go and give your input.
Exactly. Yeah, the right input.
Yeah, that's just bad experiences that they had that they dumping on to the show. But,
and I feel like that's one of those things. And then when they come here and they be like, man, my shit was produced by da-da-da-da-da. I was like, well, he just got a money grab off your ass, because somebody should have said, hey, look, it's time to go back into the lab.
But that probably was what they heard. That's their ears. That's why you got to continuously work on your ear, work on your craft. Yeah.
Moving forward in the industry, because I know Antidote agency, you said it was what, a year and a half, 2 years?
Year and a half, yeah.
Okay. So it's Baby coming to the game. Biggs, I know, like I said, I've been watching really been tapping into the industry, the entertainment market, really heavy. Is there anything that y'all would want or could change
about us,
or just about yourself or the industry as a whole?
Yeah.
I mean, because y'all looking at it right now, y'all are way further than where I'm at right now to make the changes or fix some things. So, yeah, y'all see a lot more. So, is there anything out there that you would be like, hey, look, as soon as I get that big check or that certification that I'm him, we ain't doing this no more?
Yeah. No, there's a few. I think the biggest thing I touched on was the the social media, how people see things and feel like they can do it too. The Me Too type of thing, right? It's not for everybody. You got to have talent. If you don't have the talent, there's no point. Let's just be real. You can try to filter it. You can try to get an engineer not as good as this guy here, maybe somebody that just tell you what you want to hear and make it sound good. But you got to have the talent. And so that's most important. But for me to change, I feel like changing perspective of, the worth of an artist. That's why I say we call ourselves artist advocates, because really we're trying to get people to see the value of these artists, why you can invest in an artist. There's things like morale. What does music do for us? It boosts morale. It helps you through tough situations. It helps you relate, So artists that are really in tune with how they can express themselves and are talented at it, they can reach a lot of people. And so beyond just the views or the listens, they can get into these businesses, and businesses can invest in them because they see that potential. And I think that we're not there yet. I mean, some might that they get it, but the average business out here or wherever, what city, wherever you're at, they don't see that as a way for them to invest. They just look at it as consumption. And I feel like as an artist and as artists, as creatives, we look at art like Basquiat's worth. They continue to go up. The value goes up and up and up. Obviously, he's not here with us, so the value goes up there. But just that, the way we look at art should be the same way as an artist, a music artist, And I just don't think everybody's there. But helping people see that, that's what I'm trying to do, is help people to see that so these artists can, really do this at a high level and continue to do it. So if I could change anything, it would be change that perspective.
Okay.
Yeah, I wouldn't change nothing. I think it's smooth.
Okay.
Because I feel like even with those, like the bad side, it still come with good. You know what I mean? Like it's a whole good side to it. It's a reason why this is this and this is that. And I feel like to fix this problem would be just artists learning how to communicate with the people that they want to spend money with them. Yeah. Because that's all it's about. Whenever you move into a new space, you got to understand the language, understand how to move, and then, communicate. So a lot of artists don't know how to communicate. True. They don't know how to open their mouth and just say what they want, or, they might got too much ego to ask for something, or, they in their head and they most creative in their head. So they thinking the options of why and why they shouldn't. And by the time they even figured out the answer, their opportunity then passed them. Mm-hmm. And then they get used to it. Once you start something, a habit, which is missing opportunities, you're going to keep missing opportunities. It's going to become easier for you to do that. Whatever you stay consistent at, you'll be successful at it. So if you stay consistent at missing opportunity, you'll never get it. Yeah. But that weeds you out the way for the ones that deserve the opportunity. So that's why I'd always say it's a balance to it.
Yeah, that's true.
That is deep. I take that even on my personal, because there's certain things where I just like, I ain't feeling that, but you don't speak up on it. Mm-hmm. And then when I don't get the results, I get even angrier. Right. I'm just like, damn, man, why ain't this shit working? I'm just like, but in the back of my head, I'm just like, you ain't ever speak on it for real. So how can you expect anything to change if you don't say nothing? I respect that.
You get used to those results.
Yeah.
Your body gets used to those results. Mm-hmm. Now you understand how to be comfortable in that space.
Yeah.
And therefore you start losing,
Like I told him earlier, now that's all out the window. I'm just going to say what I want to say and get it over with. As long as I don't say it in a disrespectful meaning or manner.
It's about how you say it. That's all.
Exactly. It's just going to, you know what I'm saying? But by y'all being in Virginia right now, I always said that Virginia, it's starting to become, actually, I'm not going to say starting. It's rebranding itself to be another hub like it used to be. You know what I'm saying? Do y'all see that potential, that gold mine, or do y'all just like, I can go somewhere else and find it?
Yeah, I mean, you can find it other places until it builds up, but we're not generally known as an entertainment market. It's too many military bases here to even bring so much entertainment here.
Yeah.
Because it's like you can't do too much. We got the biggest bases here, so if we have a crazy ass concert or something crazy that's out of proportion, then the military can't handle it. Now, what if we get going to war right then and there? They can't handle all of that stuff. And then they're protecting regions and the United States. It's not like they just protecting our state, you know? So but it's building, it's slow building to it. So in the next 10 years, it should be good. But a lot of people don't have 10 years to wait to see if they're going to blow up or not. So that's why they travel out and just bring it back home. You know, just keep traveling, come back home, travel, come back home. And then show everybody that's how you do it.
Yeah. No, I think there's a lot of, I've seen waves, you know, the DMV, I've seen a wave there. I told you Atlanta, I was a kid, but I saw a wave there. Buffalo's got a wave that's still riding right now. I've seen waves happen, and I feel like there is a wave going right here too. You know, there was one at one point here, a big wave, a few waves, you know what I mean? But I feel like we're right there. Now, in regards to like, you know, what we can do in the area, like you said, the military, like I feel like we can tap into that too. We're working on that actually, my agency, to do concerts for the Navy, the naval base. Again, that morale piece of
things. And I think that's a missing piece for us because we don't look at it as an advantage that it's so many different ethnicities and people from everywhere here from those military bases. And if you focus on that market, you can potentially blow up faster than anybody you can think of because they taking it back to their homeland like, yo, this is good. Anything you got something good, you want to share it with people. So that's how you can tell if your shit good too.
Yeah.
Because I can tell you right now, you looking at two people that's currently in and that was in, and I tell you, when I was stuck here in Virginia, I was looking for the concerts, I was looking for the open mics, I was looking for the studios. Like we were craving it. It was just like, but then again, it be that way sometimes. You walk into a studio and they drinking, they smoking, and they be like, "Oh, what you do, man?"
Yeah.
I'm in the Navy. They be like.
Yeah.
They be like, oh no, never mind. They be like, yo, nah, we still human.
Yeah, we gotta just make it military friendly for everybody in the military. Gotta make it friendly for us too, you know.
Yeah.
They gotta want to lock in with us, which they normally do. Like I don't never have no run into no military people that's just obnoxious and don't want to have nothing to do with the music industry if they're around. You know what I mean? So
my question is, how do y'all feel about the saturation of artists and like events out here? Because I've talking about military and stuff, I've talked to a lot of people, because you know in the military, like you said, there's people from all over the place. We got artists, we got producers, we got everybody who's stating that they don't feel like there's enough going on out here. But then when you talk to the artists and they come sit on this couch, they're like, there's too much going on out here. So how do y'all feel about that?
It's a big balance.
I mean, I feel like it's straight. It definitely need more though. You go to Atlanta, you gonna have 3 or 4 open mics every night type shit. So, or any other place that's a hub. So we definitely got to get, and that comes with work ethic. We need more than 1 or 2 or 3 promoters that's doing something. We need 100 of them. We need 50 of them. We need 50 engineers that's doing it. 50, 60 artists that's doing it. You know what I mean? Fans for all of these people. But we got to put in the work to really convert people into fans. That's all it is. It's like you got to convert it. Collect them emails and phone numbers. The artists got to do the work, you know, and learn marketing, learn branding, learn promotion, and understand the industry they in, you know, so they can build.
Yeah, but I feel like also that, you know, everybody's got a fest now. I don't like that. Everybody, since Something to Water got here, it's like this fest and that fest. It's like that. To me, that's just not. It's not cool because you're taking somebody else's thing. So we can go away with the fest, but just doing like Big said, showcases. I don't do open mics because for me, it's just not really professional in my opinion. It's just anybody can jump up there, and I like to see before we get up there who's going to be performing. So we do showcases, but yeah, that's interesting because there is a lot here, but you got to know the right people, right? The people that are putting them on, or you got to know where the venues are. There's only so many venues that do like hip hop. So you got to know where those venues are, and it comes down to what kind of genre you're into as well. But I feel like there's definitely a space to have more. I just think that there's some oversaturation with the type of event. Like I said, like don't call it a fest just because you want to get on that wave. Like just do something different. And there's different ways to do it. And there are, I feel like there's a lot of different people that do what we do, curating and putting on events. And there's a lane for everybody. Everybody does things differently. And you got multiple areas. You got Virginia Beach, Newport News area. You got Norfolk, like all these different areas that we can tap into. But it comes down to like what people want, right? Because if you're looking for something specific, you may not find that. But you got to go and find it. But for the artists, I think there's a lot of opportunities for them out here.
I feel that.
Oh, for a fact, for the artists, shit, you just gotta be out there and find it for real. Yeah. But I do understand where you said it's festival. Yeah. If you're gonna say festival, at least let yours be something different.
Exactly.
From what you talking about
should
the name?
Yeah,
instead of calling it fest, call it
just
something
call
different.
it something different. Like,
but
a festival
I feel
to
like
me,
all the festivals is they need to be bigger.
It's a 1 day event. It's like 3 hours. It's not a festival.
That's not
The festival is 3 days or like what I'm saying.
Like
so
that's a fact.
Like make it a real thing. Don't just call it a fest.
Yeah,
to me that's just corny. But
yeah. No, I understand. I understand completely how you feel because sometimes
that goes along with learning the language. They got to understand. All right, what is just like an EP or LP?
Exactly.
Like people, artists need to understand what's the difference.
Yeah, because you got to remember, it's a lot of younger people coming up who just, like I said, they're moving out here because they see a wave, so they're just hopping on the bandwagon and they're like, oh, I could do that.
Yeah.
Exactly.
So you feel me?
Yep,
they start coming in and they start taking the language. Whole time they don't even know what the fuck they talking about.
Right. Exactly.
Somebody got to teach them, and
That's
they got to
the thing.
learn. They just got to learn. You
That's-
got to want to learn though, and that's what separate like the big leagues and the locals.
Yep.
It's just knowing and staying in your lane and locking in and really taking it serious.
Yeah, because even with like I was saying before, the artist, there's like a me too. Like you see it on IG, you can do it too type of thing. It's the same thing for the event coordinators or organizers. They see that, oh, I can do this too. Let me go get the venue and let me do this. They know nothing about showmanship. They know nothing about organizing a show. They don't know how to do a set list. They know nothing about it. But oh, I see they did it, so I'm gonna do it too.
Now, it's one thing if somebody like do it and they've been asking all these different people how to do it and nobody want to give them the answer. Then you like lock in and do it yourself. But if you just see it and be like, I can do it, and don't ask for no guidance or help or nothing, it kind of, you're going to run yourself ragged. And I know people don't mind doing that because they're learning through the experience, but you still can't learn everything just doing one show. So you're going to be fucking it up. You'll fuck your name up. You'll fuck artist reputation up, if you do it wrong. And I'm one of the people, I used to just throw shows. I'm like, shit, fuck it. We're going to try it. Fuck it, we're going to try this.
Figure it out.
And I had to learn, I had to learn that shit, so.
Yeah.
And that's one of the reasons why a lot of people be like, how you already in season 3? It's because my first season probably was like 12, 14 episodes. Trash work, trash cameras, trash locations. Back then, we used to have to hold the mics.
Yeah.
You had to hold the mic like this type shit.
Right.
And it'd be distorted, popping. We all lean. It was just horrible. But it's one of those things is as you grow and as you learn, you do better.
For sure.
But like Tay and like y'all was saying, it's like some people jump on things and it's just like, it's annoying.
And you can cut time if you just ask somebody for help. You can be just cut 3-4 years off of your process.
Exactly.
Some people don't want to ask. Some people don't want the help, bro. Like I've been in situations where, like these people don't know nothing, and I try to help. Man, get out the way, man. We got money from this person, that person. We doing it, but y'all don't know what you're doing.
Because bread doesn't equal up to knowledge.
No, not at all.
I will tell you that right now.
I will say though, like there's a lot, and I'm talking from experience. There's a lot of people that just gatekeep, and I say this a lot.
Yeah.
A lot of people don't like to give out their knowledge. They don't care if you're paying for it. They don't because. Even like he said, we was talking about Marv P. He said he's made a point, and I kind of understood that your route is never going to be somebody else's route. So I could ask you for knowledge, but at the end of the day, it's still not going to play out the same way for me. Yeah. But at the same time, I feel like if somebody takes the initiative to even ask, everybody knows how much ego everybody got.
Yeah,
If somebody go out their way to ask you for help with something, I feel like I'm the type of person I'm gonna help you regardless.
Yeah,
you
for
ain't
sure.
gotta pay me.
it take a lot to
be-
ask for help.
Yeah, it's something about giving back, like, to that. Because if you experience things in life, you know, it's not always about money. Like, what can it equate to? Or if I do this for you, I got to get something back. If you have that mentality, you're only going to go but so far.
Yeah.
And if you're sharing that wealth, I mean, a lot of the information is online too, like nowadays. So
Yeah,
to want to hold back and not give, it's like you have a small-minded mentality. You gotta grow from that. And that's what I love about what we do is just, it's free information. Like, an artist can sit down, we can talk about things. I'm sure Biggs does it all the time. You know, we usually talk before we even do business, you know, see where they are, so I can figure out how can I help them. We'll break bread, we'll do that, but like, what can I do to help you and provide something of substance that will help you? And even if I just do that and we make no money, I'm good, because that's just the person that I am, how I came up. And I feel like if more of us are doing that, we'll weed out the bad, you know what I mean? But yeah, it's a lot of that going on too, and it goes for the artists and the organizers.
You ever ask people why they gatekeep?
I feel like I never asked the question, because at the end of the day, it's like, okay, I already took the time out of my time to, you know, I put the pride aside, I asked. You didn't reach back out. I'm not gonna, you feel me? I'm not gonna reach out again to be like, okay, why did you not reach out? You feel me? Like,
That would be weird. I ain't gonna lie to you. It made me feel weird.
I feel like
It's kinda
that's
put on
not
the spot.
gatekeeping. They just didn't reply back. I feel like gatekeeping is when you ask somebody something and they don't even give you
well,
the
yeah,
answer.
I mean, there is people like that as well. I mean, you ask them something, they're like, oh, no, I can't do that. Like, you gonna have to figure it out yourself. I mean, you could ask why, because at the end of the day, some people just want you to gain that knowledge on your own, obviously.
Right.
You feel me? But at the end of the day, it got people who just do it maliciously. Like, they just don't want to give you that information.
For sure.
I don't know. I feel like if you're at a point where you're established in yourself, you established in your craft, you feel like, okay, what I'm doing is what I'm doing. I don't mind giving you information, because a lot of people, I feel like they gatekeep because they don't want this person to come out and pop out and, I don't know, get bigger than me. Or I don't want this person to have this information. Yeah, competition.
Yeah.
But I feel like once you're established, you don't care.
No, you shouldn't care.
Yeah.
Well, that's people that, you know, when we're really a true gatekeeper, they're holding back because they feel like, if you get that info, oh, you're going to do better than me, you're going to be better, and you're going to compete against me. And I always tell people, man, competition is healthy. Like, you're supposed to have competition. That's why in business, there's competition. There's McDonald's, there's Burger King, there's Pepsi, there's Coca-Cola. How long they've been in business? They've been going at each other for years and years and generations. Healthy competition is good for business because it allows everybody to get better. Now, if you just want to be the corner guy, you want to be the corner guy. I mean, the corner, you're the monopoly, right? You want to be the only guy in town that does it. Then you're only going to go so far there too. Yeah. But I feel like we compete against each other. We're going to make each other better, and that's how it should be.
Nah, I laughed at that because I was just like, I had to say it, bro. I ain't gonna lie, I gotta say it. Shout out to Miss Blends. We had her on the show. Love her. Dope team.
Mama Blend.
Dope, yeah. Dope everything. Like, sent her a couple of my old tracks and she was just like, you might need to pick it back up. You know what I'm saying? So I respect everything she got going on. As a podcaster, as an interviewer, as a journalist, as everything, I looked at that list and I said, I was like, I'm pissed. But it's part of competition.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? You gotta have that.
For sure.
You want to have that. And I don't want to be a monopoly and be like, oh, I'm the only one that does it. When I seen that list and I was like, all right, cool. I was like,
list for what?
It should motivate you.
Okay, so what they do is they do lists of like best female R&B artists or best male, best hip hop, best producer, engineers, best podcasters and interviewers. And I was like, Now, I am a co-host on A-Chill, so I was like, okay, cool. That's fine. Yeah. But I was looking at the list of the podcast, and I was like, a brother don't see the No Limit on here. And I've had heavy hitters for the last year and a half. And I was like, damn. I was like, do I need to work on something? And I'm sitting at the house today, and I'm just like, do I need to fix cameras? Do I need to have strippers, little midgets with little, you know what I'm saying? What do I need to do? But then you kind of brought me back to life just now. It's like, it's competition.
Exactly.
season 4, because I do my seasons by the year. So season 4, I'm finna go stupid. Finna go stupid.
That's how it should be.
There's no way the motherfuckers gonna be able to keep up. But I needed to hear that. Just even during this interview. Yeah. It is competition. You gotta do better. You gotta work on your craft.
How do you enter to get nominated for those lists?
Huh?
How do you enter to get nominated for the list? Because
so,
I'm a Grammy voting member, so like we have to send records in to get voted on.
Well, see,
so how does that work on that process?
So with Hot 91 and stuff like that, I don't know if they just have like somebody that's watching on Instagram that's looking at everything, or I don't know how it works. Me personally, looking from the outside in, I'm thinking it's just somebody out here in the area, the 757 as a whole, looking at who's doing what.
I think you should ask that question, because you'll end up working yourself in the hole to gain something that you might be working backwards the whole time.
Yeah, you know what the criteria is. Yeah. Because a lot of these shows, like, you know, the award things, it's kind of like somebody puts it together and they just want to pick people that they feel there's no real process like the Grammys. But that'd be interesting to know, because then you can plan for it. You know?
Yeah, and then you could work in the direction of getting nominated next time.
Or a simple question of what could I do better? You know, like for us, we do what do you call it? Surveys after our events. We send it out to the artists, the vendors, people we work with throughout the event, get feedback, right? So it's similar. Like getting that feedback can help you get better. You only can, know what to do once you ask. Like, yo, my name wasn't on the list. Why not? You know, see what you hear. But,
who's voting for the nominations?
Even then, I don't know. Like I said,
so you left in the blind, because now you don't know what direction to go or who to talk to. You just mad and want to get better, and now you about to just take it out on yourself. So now
you know what you need to do. You need to hire Antidote agency in Biggs.
Like, man, hit the bread. Go find out why this shit ain't working. Yeah. But nah, it was just one of those things. It was just one of those things. I seen it last year in No Limit. I think last year we were sitting at season one, borderline season 2. So I was just like, we had our hiccups, we had quality issues. So I wasn't really upset. Season 3, I was just like, okay. I mean, but there is some heavy hitters up there. Like you got, like I said, A-Chill. You got Off World. You got Goddamn Podcast. You got Hurt Bros. And a couple other ones that I never seen them in my life. But it was just one of those things. And he said, but I'm going to ask those questions. I'm going to figure it out, because like at the end of the day,
tell the artists on your platform how to actually do it, so now they can enter a chance. Because I'm pretty sure you're not the only person that feel like that.
That's real. Sure. That's some real shit. That's some solid advice.
It really is.
Yeah, man.
Because I got some announcements. I got some heavy hitting, and I think that's what it was. It's my ego. I'm working on my ego. I am working on it, and
that's honest.
I'm an open book, so I can say, hey,
I'm the same way, bro.
I can be like, yo, my feelings is hurt, like, you know what I'm saying?
Yeah. Right.
Especially because I got big wigs outside the city, like, let's sign this contract, let's get this money. But it's just like, nah, if I can't win here, if I can't lock in here, I don't want to lock in nowhere else. And I've had a bunch of people tell me different things, and it's just like, you can't just focus on this. There's a whole bunch of other people outside that might love you.
Right.
Yeah. You know what I'm saying? You really can't just...
And this will eventually lock in anyway.
You know what I'm saying?
You just got to keep putting in the work.
Yep.
And this is any local scene. It's not necessarily Virginia. Any local scene. If you just keep putting in the work and keep traveling and coming back home, it's going to pop. Everybody gonna have their time.
Yeah, but I hear that a lot though. Like artists saying that they have to leave this area. They're here. They're from here. They do shows. Nobody supports it. They go up to a different city and they got 100-some people there.
That's true.
And they frustrated to that. And I'm like, I don't know what. Like I'm trying to do my part to help with that.
So with Marv, and damn, I'm gonna keep using. Y'all gotta just watch the episode. Yeah. What Marv has said during his episode was one of the realest things that I've ever heard. It's like, yo, you ain't got to leave the city or the state that you love.
Yeah.
It's like, go travel. Go save up $200, $300. Go to Atlanta. Go to Texas. Go Florida. Wherever you got to go. Experience what you got to experience. Get the love. Get the feedback. Network. Come back.
Right.
And if you got to do that 4 or 5 times during a year, then it's okay.
I think that kind of plays into as well. The audience just like out of towners. Like that's just what it is. Like if you put on an event and you put a headliner as somebody who's from out of town, they're gonna come to see what this person has to offer.
For sure.
I think that's mainly kind of what plays into that as well. But yeah, I don't think there's nothing wrong with artists traveling and going to different states and seeing what they got to offer, because at the end of the day, that state could probably really fuck with what you're doing. And out here, it's
and that's a proven concept. We know if you go to another state, you're gonna get some kind of love, especially if you rapping more. Your rap sounds more like that state, so you're gonna get love, and you might find your base there, and then you'll come back home, and it's just to be another base.
Yeah, that's a big.
But that might not be home. Might not be your first base.
Yeah,
which is true. And I'm not from the 757. You know what I'm saying? So I got to take it with a grain of salt. But I will say this: once we get everybody's schedule straight up in 2025, the Black Podcast Festival. I went to the first one. No Limit. We definitely going to expand our resources and travel and really, because that's the first question everybody asks. Hey, bro, can y'all bring the equipment out here?
Yeah,
can y'all bring the equipment out, did this and this? Can y'all do this? And I'll be like, I don't know, because it'd be one band or it might be 2 of us. But now I got an arsenal of 4 people. We gonna work it out.
Yeah.
I said it here first, ladies and gentlemen. We're going to work it out. To kind of wrap up the show and everything like that, what is the requirements for an artist to reach out to you? Like, what do they need to have?
They need to have some form of way to share their music. I like to see videos, music videos. It's a different aspect. That's a big piece for me, just personally. But if you don't have a video yet, having your songs ready, that's always important. I don't care if it's through a DM. I don't care if it's on streaming platforms. If you just have it ready to send through email, I'm good either way. But definitely have the music ready. And if you have a video, it helps a lot, because I can see the visual, I can see your vision, I can see some performance aspect, right? Because some will show me like videos of their performances. That's cool too. But I'm always looking for that, because I want to put them on a stage, right? That's one of the most important things we do, or the biggest things that we do is live shows. So I like to see the performance. But really, it helps me see where an artist is at. When I ask an artist to send me what they got, I'm curious to know how they're going to share it with me. Is it going to be an email and they don't have it out on streaming platforms yet? Or they're going to send me a whole link with everything, or a press kit. There's different things or different places artists are. Then it shows me where they are to help me see how I can help them. Do I have to start from scratch and really get them invested, or can I, just get them ready to go and hit the stage right away? Yeah, I don't know if that answers, but
no, that answers perfect. What about you, Biggs?
Just text me 757-839-2567.
Not you putting a whole number out.
757-839-2567.
It's like Mike Jones. Remember Mike Jones did that?
That's wild play. That's the first time that's ever happened on the show.
Hit me.
That's it.
Just hit you.
Hit Biggs. Hit you right.
I love it. I like it. I love it. Is there any future events that y'all got going on that artists need to be aware about, or they should be?
Yes, sir. I think you got a flyer, huh? There it is, man.
Yeah,
my guy Biggs.
So the next wave,
Antidote Agency and Prime Records / Biggs, myself, my team. We are, man. We're putting together this artist showcase at the Annex, December 21st. The set is already locked in, man. Thanks for getting these, by the way.
Yeah, for sure.
The set is already locked in, so we don't have any performance slots, but you come out, you can see what we do. You can see the artists that Biggs is working with, some of the artists that I'm working with. We just came together, joined forces for this one. Because I met Biggs through another artist. Shout out to Jugs. Oh, no, not Jugs. Jug Money Jones. Out of Norfolk.
Yeah, he need to be up here. You gonna love him.
Yeah, we're gonna get you.
I
Ain't
gonna pop
his
shit. Him before.
Yeah.
He gonna pop his shit.
But he told me about Biggs. Here we kept talking about Biggs. So I finally got in touch with Biggs when we did Pulse Fest, trying to do some business, and he pulled up and showed up. Went to the studio, saw his work, and just, you know, kind of saw, plus, like I said, the Baltimore connection, being that I went to college in Baltimore, you know, it just made sense. And so he's got artists he works with in the studio, and we got artists we work with on the business side. And so two of us entities coming together to do this showcase. We did one at the Annex, myself and other couple organizers back in September. New venue. They finally got their alcohol, their liquor license, so it's gonna be really a good time.
And it holds 500 people.
Yeah, we get about 500. They got a stage.
That's why we trying to fill this motherfucker up.
Yes, sir.
Y'all come fucking set up and interview niggas while
we could definitely. I literally about this when he said two entities. Nah, what he meant to say was 3 entities.
You feel me?
You know what I'm saying? Bring them.
Interview.
Yeah.
Bring them.
We could definitely do that. That's no
and we
problem.
got Jug Money up there. We got Honor Monet. We got Playboy Vaughn, Devoted J, A Chardonnay. We got Tokyo Star, Nani, and Jet 9. And the music by Sober the DJ.
That's it.
It's
one not to
21st.
miss. But I feel like, you know, with what me and Biggs is trying to do, and what my agency's been trying to do, is just really put on that quality. You know what I mean? Like, it's one thing to have 15 artists on stage and you run through his sets or whatever it is, but to really handpick these artists, and Biggs and I both kind of go back and forth, like, yo, give me top artists you work with. And then I looked at them like, nah, how about them? Yeah, this one. And we really handpicked it, you know what I'm saying?
For sure.
And then the crazy thing about this one is we got half women, females, half guys. So it's like every other artist is going to be a guy than a girl. Like, we're going back and forth. And so just to show the different, you know, type of artists we have, and to show that females and guys, like, it don't matter, you know, who it is, you know what I'm saying? But this is one that y'all definitely got to pull up on.
December 21st.
Yeah.
$15 too.
Yeah. One of the artists on it. One of the artists that we mentioned, just hit them up. If you know one of them, or just hit us up or text my number and get a ticket. Yeah, tickets gonna be on the Annex website, plus the artists. Oh yeah, that's tickets. Right. Yeah. The Annex gonna be sweet though. I think they system hard and everything. Like, this shit is next level.
Y'all been there before?
Nope.
All right, you gonna
I told you, I only been in 3 events.
Yeah.
That's Puffin Mike, Buko's, and a Good Society event. That's it.
Yeah. Also, one more, just to not to cut off, but we got Conway the Machine coming in January.
Damn.
So we booked him at the Elevation 27. That's going to be announced this week. So by the time you put this out, everybody will know. But yeah, definitely Conway the Machine, Buffalo guy. You know what I'm saying? Plus a bunch of independent artists on the front end of that show as well. So we're doing things, man. Starting the year off right with that one too.
Yo, this is gonna be exciting. Yeah. I feel like we wrapping up 2024. We had a lot of BS. We had a lot of truth moments. We had a lot of. I say, for real, 2024 has just been about truth. Yeah. Being honest with everybody, just not sugarcoating anything, not really necessarily gatekeeping, just like, hey, it is what it is, this what it is, this what it ain't. 2025, I feel like it's going to be a revelation moment. It's just going to be like, it's either you got it or you don't. That's how we rocking it with it, because the people that we looked up to or we were trying to reach to are all stepping down, if y'all haven't noticed. Yep. You got a whole bunch of CEOs, you got to have a whole bunch of A&Rs, companies dropping. It's like, look, this ain't our lane anymore. It's not our time. Right. So now the new lane, the new people that know how to run this business are stepping up to the plate. So 2025, I feel like it's going to be a great era to like.
And this is for every industry around the world. It ain't just music that's going through that transition.
For sure.
Yeah.
It's crazy you said that.
2025, you're going to have to come with that work.
Yeah.
You're going to have to come with that pressure. And if you don't, you're going to be left behind,
like
bro.
Competition, like I said, man.
Like, exactly. The 2025, mark my words, here on the No Limit Podcast, the year of competition.
That's it.
We bringing it back.
May the best man, women win.
You know what I'm saying? If you ain't great, come back next year, hopefully. You know what I'm saying?
Maybe.
Yeah, maybe. But like always, ladies and gentlemen, this has been a fantastic episode. We got a lot of knowledge. We got a lot of heavy hitters in the room. Just a great experience. I really appreciate you coming back for the third time. I know you look at this building, you be like, God damn, I come here.
I know this building. I know
you know what I'm saying? Exactly. Biggs, shout out to you for coming out, man.
Always,
didn't even know you was walking through. Like I said, you walked in like a big ass security member.
Yeah.
I was like, who the hell talking in the hallway? YT, one of the members of the No Limit Podcast is here. Next time we would like to have all 4 of us here. But like I said, we're working. We're striving to be better. We'll be asking those questions in the streets. How we need to get better as a platform or as interviewers or just a podcast.
That'd be good content too, y'all doing the live, just a
outside.
little snippet of, yo, what can we do to
pull up on people.
That's fire.
Yeah. What we gotta do? What we gotta do to be where we need to be, where we want to be? And there's more things. It's the holidays. I want y'all to enjoy family. I want y'all to work on y'all's crafts. This is the 4th quarter, so at the end of the day, it's time to finish it up, trying to wrap it up because first quarter's coming up.
Yeah.
And we running with a bang.
That's it.
So with that being said, ladies and gentlemen, make sure y'all tap into. Actually, I didn't get that.
Yeah.
Instagrams, anywhere, social media. Tell them where you at.
Yeah, you can follow me at Antidote Music. That's music with a Q. But the agency is Antidote_agency. That's on IG. And then we got our website, AntidoteAgencyLLC.com. You can see a lot of our recaps of previous events. You can contact us. If you're an artist, you can actually book a consultation on our website as well. Free consultation. You can talk to us about, whatever y'all want to do.
That's wild.
Yeah.
Yeah.
You know how much consultations are?
Yeah.
That's wild.
No, it's free. Free for now. Maybe we'll charge later. But yeah, we're trying to help, man. We're here for y'all.
I respect that so much. Biggs, you already gave out the number, but
Yeah.
I mean.
And go to thisisbiggs.com. THISISBIGGZ.
Gotta drop that number one more time.
I was about to say, call me
757.
757-839-2567.
It's going to be his next song, man.
Nah, I was waiting for him to be like, Blockity.
You feel me?
Yo.
You funny as shit.
Till next time, ladies and gentlemen. We'll see you this Wednesday. We got my guy, Kanji coming through before he leaves to go to Cali. So this is definitely going to be a dope episode. I'll see y'all then. Peace.